Hello and welcome to the Everyday Board Game Podcast with your host Daniel.
And Daniel.
I'm excited about this one, genuinely.
I find it funny that we wait this long. It was this long. I mean, it was like we were both sitting there like, wait a minute. Have we not done that? And we were searching and I was going through the Bible. We were checking like the YouTube and the audio side of things. It's like, how have we gone this long without talking about one of our favorite games?
Right, exactly. And the thing is, like, and I feel like we've done this before. Like, we've doubled up on episodes before, and I'm not saying we have on this one, but I feel like, still in my mind, I feel like this is one that we have not, or that we have done. How could we not have?
We haven't. We looked. We checked it. We've checked everything.
Maybe it got lost to the algorithm or something. I don't know. I don't understand, but apparently we've never done this episode.
Yeah, which is surprising, because we both adore this game. What we're talking about, we're doing a board game brainstorm of...
Bohnanza. Bohnanza, the bean farming, high stakes trading. Yeah, it's just some of the most ridiculous gaming. But there's a reason it's one of our favorites.
Yeah, and then so before we get into any of this, you'll be hearing this towards the end of May. We're recording this ahead of time just to do some logistic stuff that I'm going to be taking some time off for stuff that I have to do, as well as a vacation with my wife. So we just kind of want to double up and get this done. Yeah. But we just recently were able to go down and hang out with our friends of Level 99, and we're going to give them a quick little shout out about that. They invited us to their work retreat down, 2 hours away from us? I don't want to say exactly where.
Yeah, we don't want to say the logistics. But yeah, we have spent some really good time with them. They're always great seeing it. And we don't want to name names, but Brad, the owner of the company, he was kind enough to invite us over for a little bit. So we went and
got to hang out with the designer of Bullet as well.
Yep.
And talk games with him. You got to pick his brain about game design.
Yep, that's right. Yep, which is always fun. And
I got the grill for them, so.
You got to do some grilling, right? And we found this lovely area that, again, we're not going to talk about it, but some of the roads were questionable. You and I... Turns out, Priuses don't like driving at a 45-degree angle.
My favorite, and that I love telling people, is like, do I turn here? And I'm like, no, you got to turn up at the stop sign. What stop sign? The one that's up there?
At the stop sign.
And you're like looking at the corner of your window. That one?
Yeah.
Well, as we're sitting like this.
Yep. Who knew? But yeah, so, I mean, there's obviously a lot of stuff that we're not going to talk about or can't talk about.
We can't talk about,
but we had a good time.
They have some really cool stuff in the process. It's just all we could say.
And we will look forward to telling you guys about that when they're formally announced.
Also, it was just really cool to hang out with everybody.
Yeah,
and all honesty, we had a great time. We were up there for a few hours, had some decent, really good food, had some decent time, played some really cool stuff.
And I thoroughly stand by this. Like, out of all of the people in the gaming industry that we've met that are just amazing people, like, we love Fireside Games, right? We love Justin and Anne-Marie. We love Smirk and Dagger. Kurt Covert is just awesome, right? Mm-hmm. The people, not just guys, like everybody who works for Level 99 Games has been just some of the most pleasant people that we've ever experienced.
It's just been a blast. There was one point you're like, you're talking baseball with board game nerds. How are you talking baseball?
Yep.
How are you talking sports with?
And I gave him the warning, like, you got this guy started on sports ball. Oh man, you ain't shutting him up for a long time. But no, they're great people. So, before we get into today's episode, though, as always with our board game brainstorms, we like to talk about stuff that is outside of gaming. So, Daniel, what have you been doing outside of gaming?
Kind of hinted at it earlier. They put me on the grill while we were at the thing over there. So, what I'm going to talk about is what I've been enjoying since the weather's getting warmer, and that's grilling and smoking food and stuff like that. I've been having a blast. We just recently had an all-day gaming where it was just you and me, and I grilled up or smoked up some hamburgers and hot dogs. And bacon. You really adored the bacon.
Bacon was pretty good. I wish it was a little crispier, just because I like some crispy bacon.
I like crispy bacon.
The flavor was...
It's hard to get it super crispy, because when you're smoking, you have to smoke at a low temperature.
Right.
But when you're trying to crisp bacon, you want to cook it at a high temperature. Yeah. So it's just that...
Yeah, give and take, right?
Give and take aspect.
You want the flavor, you want the texture.
I made it a little bit crispier the most recent time with my wife, but it still wasn't like super crispy how we like it. But that smoke flavor is so intense, and it's just fantastic.
Ooh, that's right.
But the smoked hot dogs were really good. And the reason for me, I just love grilling on the grill or just smoking on the grill as well. I've made briskets for you and the guys. I've made fajitas. That's my next thing I'm probably going to do this weekend is I'm going to smoke up some fajitas, beef and chicken. And what I like about that is because I got new seasonings to play with. Sure. I have some new seasonings from Meat Church as well as Killer Hogs. Some stuff that I've seen online that I've been wanting to try out. Danos is another one that I have. Probably not going to use the Danos for the fajitas because it's a chipotle and I have a fajita rub that I use for my fajita. So maybe when I do like steak or something like that or a chicken, that I'll do use my Danos. But yeah, I'm just really excited to be doing that. All the different woods I've been trying out, the different style of woods. I'm still a big fan of chunk wood rather than a lot of the shavings or pellet smoke. But yeah, I adore summertime when I can get outside and work on my smoker or my grill, which is the same thing, just depending on what side of the unit I'm using it for. Yeah. But yeah, I just have a blast doing it. I want to try to... we're not big fish eaters, but I want to try to do some cedar plank smoked salmon. I think that would be pretty good. But yeah, that's mainly what I've been doing is just doing grilling and stuff like that. My wife got on my case when you and me had burgers, and she's like, you're going to make some for me. And I'm like, I preemptively did this because I know you were going to give me grief. I bought a whole second pack of hot dogs, and I bought a big box of hamburgers. This way I could just grill those up and get it over with because we'd got the plant-based burgers, the Beyond Burgers, because I have to cut out my cholesterol and stuff like that. So, yes, I had a little bit of bacon, but I only had a few pieces, and I had the plant-based burger and one hot dog that entire time. So mainly the hot dogs were for you. I wanted the burgers. But yeah, we had a blast. I have a blast doing it. I was able to take over the grilling for Davey because he had to make some phone calls and stuff like that. I'm like, I can do this, no problem. Yeah, it's gonna be me. I actually showed him a thing or two. I was like, if you want to know how to test chicken without having to cut it open and stuff like that, just put a fork or a knife into it. If it goes through it like butter and no resistance, that means it's cooked through. And if there's juices coming out and it's clear, it's perfectly fine.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to test that out next time. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you just put a knife through it or a fork through it. If it goes in with no resistance, then it's cooked through.
Cool. Wow. Awesome.
I prefer a meat thermometer, but that is just a down and dirty way to tell.
Yeah. So I haven't been doing much stuff outside of gaming lately because I've just been prepping. Listeners of the podcast know that I'm an educator. And so one of the things is, summertime is coming around. I have a lot of stuff planned. Although... the thing is, both of my kids are going to be in summer school this summer, so we can't plan any of these big trips. We have a big one planned for the following year, but this year we don't have much that we can do.
But the big one is just going to be you and your son, right?
No, we just have to do all four.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
We might as well.
Yeah. I just didn't know if your daughter was going to be able to.
But him and I get to decide.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, the daughter because of her cheer and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, and that's a whole thing. I'll tell you about that later. But no, because that won't go through summer anyway. We're just all going to be busy. So I have been preparing for the summer, planning all the different many little trips I'm going to go to. We'll probably go to do a Tucson run at some point.
Yeah.
That's local to us. I have a lot of
local-ish.
I mean, local is relative.
From where we live, local is about 4 hours away.
Yeah, local is 4 hours from us each way. So it's an 8-hour drive.
It's an 8-hour drive. But it's the same thing, like if we want to go to the major city in our state, that's 3.5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not exactly much shorter. But no, I have a lot of these mini trips planned out, and I'm just prepping because now I'm starting to notice more that it's the touring season for bands and musicians and all that stuff. And there's a lot of good stuff coming out.
I find it weird that they always tour at the hottest point in time when you figured you want to come south when it's colder north.
Yeah, I think they just they tour because this is the non-holiday season and they're just going to go everywhere anyway.
And it's not just that too. It's just a lot of people because school and vacations and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And my wife is preparing for a concert this upcoming weekend, and so I decided to get tickets to a musician I'm a big fan of, which is only a 3-hour drive away. So that's next door.
Oh yeah, her concert's this weekend, isn't it?
It is.
Which will already happen when you guys hear this live. Yeah. But it's a big concert that's happening in the local area.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna flat out say it. It's BTS, right?
Yeah, and they're playing the college football stadium down the road.
Exactly. So it's just it's in a different state, but it is down the road from us.
The different state is 45 minutes away.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, where they're going is 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Depending on traffic on the construction site.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, which was a mess this past week.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, no, my wife, when she went down to the outlet mall, and she's calling me hey, is it going to be okay because they got it shut down all the way to, and it's like it's not going to open till Monday.
Yeah, no, we drove through it yesterday. Yeah, yeah, it was shenanigans.
Yeah,
and on top of that, with our Dust Bowl win, you know, like that was insane trying to drive down that construction.
It is late April, early May as of recording this one.
Yep.
Why is the wind still here?
Yep. Yep, it should be gone by now, but nope. It ain't easing up.
Anyway, sorry.
It's supposed to rain on Friday. Though,
yes, sorry to sidetrack you on your trips, but yeah.
No, all my planning, all my non-gaming is literally planning for as soon as that happens, we're doing concerts, we're doing mini trips, maybe some shows. And
Still sad I couldn't go to a concert with you.
Fun summertime. Yep, I know. I will send you pictures.
I would totally have gone with you if I wasn't going to Mexico.
I'll send you pictures.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'll show you the ruins that I'm visiting, so.
That's pretty dope. Yeah. I would go see that, too.
Yeah, no, but I just like, it's sad because I was like, oh, we could totally do it together because you and me are both fans of this guy.
Yeah.
And then I found out I was thinking it was the month later, but it was literally on the second or third day of my trip.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of cool. I want to go see some concerts. I may even kidnap you in September. We could probably take your daughter if she wants to go. Baby Metal.
Oh, okay.
Baby Metal and Hellstorm at it's like September 28th. It's a Tuesday.
I am not going to go down into the pit though. I'm too old for that.
No. Oh no! I don't do pits anymore. Are you crazy? I don't have to.
Oh no! We're too old for that.
Yeah.
Like just watch them do the pits. Like my back.
Well, it's funny because last time I saw Baby Metal, I was looking at the pit, and I was talking to the wife, and the wife's looking at me, she's like, you so wanted to go in that pit. I'm like, yeah, but if I got injured, I am gone for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, to talk about that. I'm not against it. And my wife just got concert tickets to a show in October, too. So, like, one of her favorite R&B artists from way back in the day.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this one.
She's a big Usher fan, so they're going to be somewhat local, so I'm like, all right.
Somewhat local. Phoenix?
No, it's in El Paso.
At the Dawn?
I think so.
That's crazy.
Or maybe the stadium. I'm not sure, but they're going to be there.
I wouldn't be surprised if they are at the Sun Bowl. I mean, that's not a huge stadium. It's 50,000. Standing room would get it closer to 60.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not insignificant, but yeah, it's up there. And, you know, I like Usher just fine. You know, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's not your jam, but like...
It's funny. It's one of the few R&B acts from that time frame I never cared for.
What were some that you did like? Or was there any that you like?
Blackstreet.
Okay, yeah, they were cool.
Boyz II Men, I really do enjoy a lot of that stuff. New Edition was pretty good too back in the day.
Yeah.
But Usher just, I don't know, his music just never caught my fancy.
That's fair. You know, and a lot of that time, you know, I was actually more of a fan of like the female artists. Like,
the female R&B, like
yeah, Alicia Keys.
My God.
I
still love Alicia Keys.
I would see her.
I want to go see a concert with her. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, so that's my non-gaming.
Well, Alicia Keys come to town, you can go see it.
You and me both, man. You and me both. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of shows, I was just telling you off camera that my wife just recently saw a show, made us both jealous about it.
Yep.
She went and saw Steve Martin Short for one of her trainings, and we were like, oh, that is so cool. I was like, and she got her ticket for free.
Yeah,
That's what even makes it funnier. I'm like,
we'd be all kinds of jealous.
Yeah. But with that being said, let's get into our fun stuff.
Okay, so we're going to be breaking down or brainstorming Bohnanza today.
How do you keep getting those two flipped?
Especially
when it's double recording, it's
so close. It's either
it's the alliteration
BGBD or BGBS. You know, I just
Board Game BS, huh?
That's right. This is a silly episode.
But then again, it's Bohnanza. There's a lot of BSing in this.
That's true. There is a lot of BSing. So I mean, I don't play by the exact correct rules, and they've refined over the years too. Newer editions have slightly newer rules.
This came out, what, 96?
Something like that. 97, 96. Yeah, it's an older game.
It's an older game.
And
what came out before it was? Bonanza or Mamma Mia?
Mamma Mia, I believe. I might be wrong, but Bonanza 97. And this game is the game of bean farming. It's by Uwe Rosenberg. Before he was known for farming games, like big old grandiose things.
Yeah.
He was known for card games, and these are clever card games. The way it works is really quite simple. You have a hand of cards that you cannot change the order of first, and you are planting them into your bean fields. You can only have either 2 or 3 depending on the player count. Back in the day, you used to be able to buy like a third one. And you're going to be planting these in. Now the thing is, if you ever have to take a bean that you don't already have currently planted and not an empty field to put it in, then everything you receive, always through trades or just by the game mechanism, must be planted immediately. So you have to put them into one of your fields. And that's the catch of this game, is that you're hopefully putting them into fields that you've built up on. The more you have of certain types of beans, the more points it's worth. The more common the bean, the more you have to work to get it more valuable. Mm-hmm. And the more rare, the more coveted they are, and the easier it is to trade for coins. At the end of the game, the most coins wins. But here's where it goes really neat. The very first phase of each turn, you must play either the first or the first 2 cards in your hand. And by the first, I mean the ones that are closest to you. This is where the order of the cards really matters, because you can never change the order. All you can do is get cards out of it, which makes more sense in a bit. So I must play the first one, again, replacing fields if I need to, or adding to fields I'm already planting. Then after I placed 1 or possibly 2 cards, then I drill the top cards of the deck face up in front of me. I can receive those the same way. I can just plant them in my field, or I can just take them, or they can be negotiated for. If you want my chili bean, you offer me something that I'm either going for or that I want later on. Maybe a stink bean or a cocoa bean. Again, the rarity, none of them are equal, but they will be worth more to different people. Anybody is allowed to negotiate or make offers however they want, and it's up to the active player to make that decision. You could offer me 2 cocoa beans for that chili bean, where Dom might offer me a green bean. And our friend Gamehead Geek might say, well, I'll offer you a green bean, and I'll throw in another green bean if you don't take Daniel's offer or Dom's offer. And you can start making side deals like crazy. You can even just straight up give those away.
If you really want to get them out of your hand.
Yeah, and it can reward bluffing, but you don't necessarily need to. You're like, all right, well, I'll tell you what. I'll accept that because I have an empty field. I don't want it, but I will accept it if you accept this offer. Or I'll just take it off of your hands just to get rid of it, where secretly you do want it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of give and take. But the thing is, knowing that you have to play either the first or second card in your hand, if it's a card that you're not wanting because it's a different type of bean, you might try to add it into trades to sweeten the pot for other people, where really you're trying to get rid of it. So that way you don't have to replace one of your fields. It is a press your luck negotiation game that works incredibly well. The art doesn't do it justice because it looks like it was made back in the 50s.
Yeah.
And it's kind of silly artwork. But a lot of people, I think, pass it by, not giving it a due justice on how to play it, because it looks just like a kid's game or a silly game. No, it's a shrewd negotiation game, and it hits every time I've ever demoed it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. I'm not a huge fan of bidding games and these kind of blind bluffing type stuff where it's ooh, do I got to believe this guy? Right. And I don't have to bluff.
No, you don't have to.
I could be hey, I'm giving you this. Give me that. I just need that. Give me that over there. Yeah. Be nice. Come on, I'm giving you 2 for 1. It's kind of deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll add in this pot if you accept his deal, just to make it sweeter for you. I need to get rid of this chili bean.
Honestly, I don't really have a lot of negotiation plus bluffing and stuff like that on my thing, but I have a lot of games that kind of fit different criteria that Bohnanza has. So,
how much crossover do you think we're going to have? I think there's 1.
Maybe 1. That's about it. Maybe 2.
Yeah,
maybe.
1 to 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for sure 1 that I'm thinking, you might not have thought of this one either, so I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Now, of course, we go through our 5 gamer criteria, patent pending, and we'll explain how those work on each of those. We're going to give you up to 5 recommendations each, and I say up to because there might be some crossover. We don't collaborate our lists before this, so...
You have no idea what's on my list, so...
All right. We'll find out.
It's one of those things. I don't know what's on your list. You don't know what's on my list. We may have crossover. We don't know. We may even have crossover in different sections, or we think it fits better.
That's right. So it's really important that you listen to these, because if you like Bohnanza, we're going to give you at least 5 other games to look into. And if you like any of the games that we list off, then maybe Bohnanza might be what you like because of that reason. Let's start us off.
Yeah, I will be starting it with game immersion. We're talking about game immersion. Is the game fun to lose? Is there player interaction, whether it's table talk or role playing? And that's what Bohnanza really is all about, is that table talk where you're trying to wheel and deal with one another. And memorable moments. Negotiation games like this has those memorable moments.
Yeah.
I wanted to go in the same vein as Bohnanza when it comes to is the game fun to lose and those memorable moments where you're having a good time. I went with something that is a simple little card game, because Bohnanza is pretty much a simple game. You're just wheeling and dealing with each other.
Yep.
Also, I picked a game from another major designer, and I picked a game for the first time ever on my list is from Hasbro. But I know it by other names. So
this is not going to be a crossover.
This is designer Wolfgang Kramer.
Okay.
Again, I said Hasbro because Hasbro just recently picked this one up. I know it by 2 other names.
Sure. Okay.
6NIPT or Take 5 or their current name where you can find it in Target stores, Walmart stores, Beat the Heat. Okay. This is a fun little fantastic card game where you're playing out specific cards in a row or 4 different columns, and you don't want to be the 5th card in that row, or else you're taking those things, but you're also be like, you know what, maybe I will play this one to cause that 5th card to hit, because this is going to be like 2 points rather than the 6 or 7 points I'm seeing over there, because you want to have the lowest score. You don't want to get these, that's why it's called Beat the Heat. You don't want the little chili peppers in your line. And so I'm a sucker for this game, and I'm glad Hasbro has picked this one up, because I think it's by far one of the smallest, cleverest card games. And I think this is older than Bohnanza.
Yeah, probably.
But it was real big in Germany. You and me have a blast playing it every time we play it on Board Game Arena. I have a blast when I just bust it out with my other gaming group. It's a nice little filler game that plays pretty quickly, 20-30 minutes. I've actually taken this on cruises and played it on the ship, and we have a good time with it. Again, like, I know it as 6NIPT, I know it as Take 5, but the new version of it, which is really nice looking too, Beat the Heat is what you could pick it up as. I'm shocked that I have a Hasbro game on my list.
I mean, on a technicality, you do.
But they are picking up some really good games.
It's also an Amigo game.
Yeah, it's also Amigo. Yeah, but the one that you can currently get here in the States is Hasbro.
Yes.
Especially since Amigo shut down in North America.
Now, granted, the original Bonanza was also Amigo.
Yeah.
They brought to the
and
US
Amigo knows their small little card games. Another one that just Hasbro also picked up is another Amigo game. Cabenga could fit this list as well, and that's because it does really well. But it's snailed it, I think, in the Hasbro line as well.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, Beat the Heat is such a fantastic game. Go pick it up. This is my recommendation for Game Immersion.
Cool. My Game Immersion is a game that I don't think you've played. It's from a designer that you and I really enjoy, but I think this would be your absolute least favorite game that he's ever created. This is from Sid Sackson, and it's called I'm the Boss. It came out in the early 90s, and you haven't played it, right?
I haven't played this one.
Okay. I don't think you would like it, but here's my description.
It's not my style of game, but...
It's definitely not. But here's where I think, if you were going to make an exception, this is why. So the game looks like a Monopoly board, first off, and it's really not, that's a weird justification for it. But really all that board is there is so you can roll a die and pick like a deal at random. Now these deals, what it says is that it'll say anywhere from 2 to like 5 characters that you need to make this deal happen, and how much money is going to be paid out if this deal happens. Now, every player has their own character. Like, I might be the blue character, you might be the yellow character, and if this deal needs one of us, then that we could just be part of the deal, and we can say, okay, well, I want to be part of it, and therefore, like, I will take, $1 of the dollars or $3 of the dollars, whatever. And then whoever the boss is the person who rolled the die and who starts the deal. They can try and convince you to be part of it or not by sweetening the deal. Or they could even play cards that would be like that. You have a number of cards that are characters that are part of that. So yeah, like the idea is that if I have the yellow character and I need you as part of it, even though I'm the boss, I could be like, all right, well, you know what? I could just play this card, and I don't have to have you. And you could say, okay, well, no, you do, because I'm going to cancel that out. And other players could be like, well, I have a yellow card. I could be part of the deal. And you're blue, so I'm there. And I'm also green, so I need to be part of this deal anyway. And that'll give us more money if we have it. But then some people could, at any point, can play a card called I'm the Boss. And then they are now the person leading the negotiations and cut you out of it. Even though it's like, well, you know what? You're either going to let me in this deal, or now I'm the boss and now you can't. And I'm going to cut you out because now I have the blue card. And so you go over these ridiculous negotiations, the shenanigans that happen, and that's the point where you decide on whether it's shenanigans or not. Again, I don't know if you would love that, but it has that same feeling and that same kind of like, all right, well, you know what? I'm the boss. I decide whether this deal goes through. And then our friend Jim might say, all right, no, you know what? I'm the boss. I decide if it goes through. And now I'm back in the running and you're out. So based on that description, like I said, Sid Sackson, so you know it's good.
Yeah.
But it is negotiation, and I know you don't like... And it's not bluffing. Like, there's not bluffing in it.
I will say
there is some shrewd negotiation.
I'll try it once.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's not my style of game. I don't like Acquire, but I tried that one once.
Right. That's fair. Yeah. And
I liked Acquire better than that blatant ripoff we played the other day.
Right? And the thing is, like, one of my other friends who's big into the games, he likes a lot of Sid Saxon games. He likes the economy. He likes a lot of what they do, but he doesn't like negotiation at all. So he's one of the few people who didn't like Bohnanza, and I showed him I'm the Boss, and he's like, that is the worst game I've ever played. And it's like, well, okay, that ain't gonna convince
Jim?
you, but no, a different one. Jim actually likes I'm the Boss a lot.
Yeah, I know he likes metagames. So
yeah, he loves messing with people. Yeah, that's his jam. Mm-hmm. So I'm the Boss. Yeah, I don't know if you would.
I would play it. I don't know if I would like it.
I'll put it this way: if you like my other 4 recommendations.
Oh, you're saying I'm going to hate your list?
No. I'm saying I think you'll like my list. Honestly, it's games that we all like. But if you like the other 4 on my list for the same reason, I think you'll like I'm the Boss. But we'll see one of these days. I'll bring it back.
All right, let's move on to art and production.
That's right. And so art and production.
We're talking about the art, the pieces and components, and the graphic design. He was hoping that flip went his way, but
I was just going to start describing the art in Bohnanza because it's a choice.
You've already described it. It is that it's a choice. The art style is okay. It's a bit cartoony. I like what it functions for.
Yeah.
But the game I picked here is something that has fantastic artwork, but is a bit cartoony. It does have that kind of negotiation aspect, a little bit of that take that where you're working with the other team. I'm throwing stuff at you to hopefully make your place a lot worse than what my place is. So it has that little bit of shenanigans based. Not as bad as Bohnanza, but it's fantastic looking. This is a game that I don't think you've played before, but I don't think you even thought of this one. I don't know if you like it all that much. But me and Gamehead Geek really did enjoy this one. We played this back in 2019 before it was even on Kickstarter at Dice Tower West back in that day. And this is Rival Restaurants from Gap Closer Games. Gary Alec.
Is this the real-time one?
Rob Chu and John King.
I hated this game.
Yeah, I know you did.
It has everything I should have liked in that game. I did not enjoy my experience at all.
But I did enjoy this one. It's a fun little game about collecting ingredients to make your restaurant stronger than the other player's restaurant. You're actually competing in markets to get the right kind of ingredients. Sometimes you're using alien goo and it tastes really well. But you're also trying to fling garbage into other people's restaurants to get them less followers. And it's the race to, I think, 20 influence points or followers or something like that, because you're basically playing Instagram restaurant, the game. It has a lot of good shenanigans in it. It has that real-time negotiation when you go into that second stage. You're trying to get the ingredients to build your mill, to give you a bunch of followers, but you're also trying to make a lot of money for you can go buy ingredients to build more recipes. And it has a lot of that aspects. It's a fun little race to 20. I love everything about it. I love the shouting and the buying. You're trying to shove people off that little section because you're already there. And you're like, well, you know what? I got to make all this garbage and I'm going to fling some of this towards you, because I have this card and this ability and stuff like that, because you were jerk to me in that area, so now you're getting my garbage over here. I'm putting that into your dumpster, and now you're going to get rats or something like that in your restaurant. I like everything about this. Rival Restaurants from Gap Closer Games.
I wasn't expecting this one, I'll be honest. Yeah, I haven't thought about this game in a while. My art production is a lot more simple. I mean, Bohnanza is just a simple card game. You have anthropomorphic beans that are doing silly stuff based on whatever they are. So like the chili bean, he looks like he's on fire, right? You know, you have the stink bean who obviously smells and has stink lines, you know, all sorts of different stuff like that. And, you know, like I said, the art is a choice, but that being a small package, a clever card game, and anthropomorphic beans, I was like, all right, what other game has anthropomorphic food that is like a set collection game? And I picked Sushi Go because
I figured this was going to be on your list.
It just makes sense, right? If you're going just strictly by the art and production.
You're surprised by a Rival Restaurant? I'm surprised by a pick and pass draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid game, and it works, and you're trying to do set collection, and while it's a very different feel, and it's a lot less shrewd negotiation, if you're going specifically for the art and production of having, like, kind of funny, kind of cartoonish characters that just so happen to be food, and you'll probably feel bad for eating it, you know, if you think about it too hard. You know, that Sushi Go just makes sense. It was either this or I had one other that I was thinking of as well.
I thought this was going to go in your ease of play, in all honesty. That's where I thought Sushi Go was going to go in your ease of play.
No, you'll see where my ease of play goes.
But yeah, no, I'm not surprised this is on your list. I figured this was going to go on your list. I didn't put it on my list, just spoiler alert. Just because it's closer to like the pick and pass traffic. Like I was doing like Seven Wonders and Sushi Go on this list.
Mechanistically, it's the farthest from all of my games. It's just it makes sense to go here.
Yeah, I get it
because of the animal or the anthropomorphic vegetables.
Beans. Hey, look, me again. Next one we have in the G.A.M.E.R criteria is meaningful choice, impact on other players, depth of strategy, tactics, and or skills, and to do arbitrary choices or AP make an impact on the gameplay. This one was kind of the hardest one for me to pick in here, just because there is a lot of decision space, there is a lot of bidding, and you're working with other people. I wanted to get a card game that has that kind of feel where you're making some smart choices.
Yep.
And the only one I could come up with is a multi-use card games, but you are still affecting other players depending on the action that you are selecting. And this is San Juan 1897 Special Edition from Alea and Awakened Realms and designer Andreas Seaforth. I went with the multi-use card games because I like the fact that you could use your card for your money, you can use your card for its position on the board, you can use it basically for your points, you're using cards as your cargo as well. I like the fact that you have that action selection where it's like, hey, I'm doing this, I get to do this at a great power, whereas you guys get to use it at a little power, so you have some control of what other people are doing, but they still get a little bit out of it. Case in point, the wheeling and dealing aspect of that. And you could kind of talk with one another. It's like, hey, I'm going to do this action. Okay, yeah, it's like, okay, you guys better be prepared for it, but I'm not making any deals for you. This is just how it's going to go. Or you yell at them and be like, hey, why are you doing that? I don't need to do that now. I know, that's why I'm doing it right now, because you don't need to do it right now. I need stuff to send over there. So, yeah, you have that kind of fun aspect. It has a lot of great decision space for you in there because you're trying to use your cards. Ooh, this would be really good for me to get out, but it's so expensive, and I don't want to discard this many cards just to put it out there. So I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this and use it for this ability, rather, or I'm going to use it for this cost for this one instead, because it's a really cool card. And hopefully, somewhere down the line, I can get something like this back into my hand, and maybe later in the game when I have more money to spend. That kind of thing. I like the fact that the money that you're getting for selling stuff is just more cards off the top of the deck to give you more stuff to spend and get more buildings out there. So, yeah, my meaningful choice is San Juan 1897 Special Edition.
Okay, I can see that. My meaningful choice, what makes Bohnanza a good game is not the set collection, not necessarily even how you can't change the order in your hand. Although that's a mechanism that makes it really good. The biggest part about Bohnanza that sets it bar none above most other card games like that is the negotiation. Is not just me choosing to trade something with you. There's no static values. There's inherent values. Like, obviously, cocoa beans, there's only 4 of them in the deck. Obviously, that's way more valuable than coffee beans, because those are 24 of them. They're super unvaluable, right? But the thing is, I can get away with getting more valuable stuff if I have what you need at the time to push it over that limit. And having that situational negotiation causes just the best kind of shenanigans, and how anyone can be involved in any deal and cause even more problems for different reasons. Not even I can offer a trade not because I know you want something or I want something in return, because I don't want something and I want to get rid of it. And I love the ability of literally every card flip and every turn there is a different incentive whether you do or don't want to be part of that trade. So I had to pick the game that has the biggest impact of that. And that's what I wanted to go with. And while at first that sounds like a stretch in what I'm about to say, that's why I picked Cosmic Encounter. Because Cosmic Encounter has that level of negotiation. When I am ready to attack
higher player counts.
Yes, when I am ready to attack a planet, everybody has the choice whether they want to defend and help draw cards, which is your main way to draw more cards because you're hurting on resources, or whether you want to help attack to spread your influence to potentially win. This has a lot of situations where people will be like, well, I did want to help you now I don't. And in Bohnanza, it's like, well, I wanted that chili bean, but I sold that a month ago, and now you can't even ask me for that. I know I have an open field, but you ain't touching it, I love that negotiation and that shrewd, backstabbery, like, whether you do or don't take the deal, and every round has this new little mini game of what's going to happen, who's going to align with who's just going to sit out and go like, you know what, you're on your own, good luck, and who's going to flip the coin on that. I love that style of negotiation, and that's the kind of, if you imagine Cosmic Encounter with bean farming, that is Bohnanza, right? It's just absolute absurd because of the interactions.
I find it funny you picked a game 20 years older than Bohnanza.
Yeah. But I mean, they're on the same point. Negotiation has been around for a really long time, and I was
kind of assuming there was going to be a different game on this list, and I'll get to it. It might be on your list still. I don't think so, but I don't think it is.
It might be. I mean,
because I don't think you or me really care for this game.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it could be. I don't know, but I said, the depth of strategy, tactics, or skills. Every turn it's different, and that's true for both games. So,
I get it. You're just pulling your inner Tom Vassal and trying to get Cosmic Encounters on every list.
I am so bad at this game, but I'm pretty good at Bohnanza.
My issue though is Bohnanza is fine at smaller player counts, whereas Cosmic Encounters is not fine at smaller player counts.
But that's not replay value. Yeah, so that's
I know.
Why,
but I'm just saying it's just.
Yeah, I get that.
For me, Cosmic Encounters is more party style.
Yeah, no, I get that. Sure.
All right. Ease of play.
Ease of play. All right, I'll be starting this one off. Ease of play talks about 3 categories: simplicity and familiarity with the mechanisms, likelihood to get to the table, whether that's mechanism or theme, and is it easy to understand, learn, or teach. Now, there is a big learning curve in Bohnanza that you have to specify again and again and again to people. It's like, hey, don't change the order of the cards. You can't just put a chili bean over here because it's without a chili bean. No, don't change the order. That is a critical mechanism in the game. It's like when you play Hanabi, right? You're like, oh, when you draw a card, put it away from you. You can't look at your cards.
Yeah.
You have to draw the card the backwards way and put it away from you. And there will inevitably be, if there's a new player, like, wait, oh, I looked at the card, right? Or it's like, oh, I draw a chili bean. Oh, I want to put, oh, wait, no, I can't put it there. I have to put it in the back, right? And so there's always that inherent little thing. So I thought that was like the big critical thing that's the hardest to learn, understand, or teach. And it's the least familiar of the mechanism. So I wanted an easier game that uses that, so I picked Jungo for this example. Mm-hmm. And
figure this is going to be on your list.
Yeah, it's you have to keep the order of the cards in your hand, and you're playing them out as sets to try and beat other people. The better you get rid of your cards, the better you'll do. But again, you can't change the order of your cards ever until you draw a card into your hand, in which case you can slot it in however you want. So that's going to be, instead of negotiation, instead of trying to purge the cards you don't want to set yourself up for the right kind of combo.
Also, don't forget
you're trying to get it build off of other players.
When you also beat that thing on the table, you either take it in your hand or you discard.
That's true, right.
So if there's like 2 4s on the table, you can take the 2 4s and put it in your hand to make yourself like 3 or 4 4s.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like perpetually making your hand potentially better, but I like that decision space, right? It's like whether you do or don't want it. It's same in like Bohnanza, right? It's like, hey, like you have a chili bean in front of you. I mean, I don't really want it, but I'll still give you a coffee bean if you want. I'll take it off your hands. I'll help you out. But like this,
man, you love those chili beans. That's all you keep.
Well, that's like the very first, that's the
you want chili,
one. Right? I mean, garden bean, fine, garden bean. I'm sorry,
string bean, man. Come on,
there's no string bean in there.
You're a string bean,
sir. Well, you're a Jungo. Oh, what does that mean? I don't know. But Jungo, this is my ease of play. If you like that mechanism of like the clever not being able to trade cards in your hand or change the order. That's the introduction into that.
And my ease of play pick is Jungo.
Yeah. I figured this was going to be the crossover.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be the crossover too. Mm-hmm. The reason why I picked this one too, and it helped that I just recently played this on Wednesday. There's another one of the games that we showed to G.A.M.E.R. Dom's brother. Yep. And I was like, it's a simple game. It's card shedding. And another game that I showed, I'll have to tell you here in a little bit. But we played Jungo, and I'm like, all you got to do not change your hands. And you're going to play cards out. You're either trying to beat the cards in front of you. You're only playing same numbers. Don't worry about like suits and stuff like that. That's not one of those card shedders. You just play same numbers. And so you can play 1 card, but it has to beat the card that's on the table. Or you can play 2 cards, no matter what number they are, because it's going to beat the 1 card on the table. And you're just trying to play different sets as you're going. And there's going to be split cards in there, stuff like that. But you can never change your hand. But my personal favorite of Jungo is like, I can't play anything. So you draw a card. And you look at that card, and you can put it anywhere in your hand, or you can discard it. But if somehow it allows you to beat the cards on the table, you could call Jungo and mix it with one of the cards but those cards that you're playing out of your hand have to be next to each other.
Yep.
So, but that allows you to beat what's on the table,
yep.
and you can play that card immediately, and then you decide if you're going to take those cards into your hand that you just beat, or put them in the discard pile. First person to shed their hand wins, and you only play one round of this, basically, unless you're playing the advanced version of it, and then it's the first person to win 2 rounds.
Yep.
And so it's pretty simple. It's a fantastic game. I really like how easy this is to teach. This is like a game that I can play with my nieces who are not real big gamers. Yep. One of my nieces is actually turning into a pretty decent gamer now.
Yeah.
While she's up in Atlanta with her spouse, they actually play... it's one of the heavier games out there, but they have like a game night of just one of those...
Galactic Cruise, huh?
No. TI4.
Oh.
They have a TI4 night out there sometimes.
Ooh,
so it's like... But this is one I can play with my younger nieces or my grandmother and stuff like that, because it's a very familiar mechanism with the card shedding game. If people familiar with those classic ladder climbing or card shedding or rummy games can get this one a lot easier than you would. The big thing that you mentioned is that you have to teach them, do not change the order of your hand.
Yep.
It is fantastic. Happy Camper is really knocking out of the park. I'm also going to need to mention, this is published by Happy Camper, and the designer is Toshika Aro.
Cool.
But yeah, I agree with you, Jungo.
Cool. And our final one, replay value. And replay value breaks down into length of time and scaling well, minimum number of plays for the full experience, and expandability, whether it's existing expansions or confirmed by the publisher or designer. This one doesn't have quite the same... Bohnanza is up to 7 players out of the box. Like, that's huge, right? But most versions nowadays sell like 3 to 5 players, and it works really well at that. The one I picked also is 3 to 5
ton
players.
Of expansions too.
Yeah, it has a bunch of expansions, but what they really do in the expansions is just add like little variances, like cards with special abilities and different little like exceptions to the rule per se. It doesn't change the core mechanism necessarily, unless we play the board game, which is the Bean Trader board game, which is based on Bohnanza, which I've heard is not very great, but I own a copy, so maybe I'll play it one of these days. I don't know. But then, as far as expansions go...
But that's not his pick.
No, my pick has a couple expansions and then a couple versions as well. But once you play the whole game, you've seen it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Same with Bohnanza.
But what's cool about it is every time, since it's a game where negotiation does run high, and you can negotiate, but you can also play it straight, I wanted a game that felt like that and played around the same player count and around the same whimsical theme. This is Sheriff of Nottingham.
Again, another game you always put on these lists.
When was the last time I talked about Sheriff of Nottingham?
It was a couple of brainstorms ago. I'll have to look at the
I'd be curious,
backlog,
because I don't remember talking about it anytime soon. But I have slept since then. So, yeah, Sheriff of Nottingham, that is my pick for replay value, just because I feel like it has a very similar like length of time. It's not the shortest of games, but it's a really fulfilling level of negotiation, some little bluffing that you don't necessarily need to use. That doesn't break the game if you don't bluff, and if you're not a bluffer, you'll still have a good time with it. And like roughly about the same number of expansions, and the expansions add in like little variances, like extra kind of like the Merry Men expansion or more players or whatever, right? So Sheriff of Nottingham, I think, just made perfect sense for replay value.
I know it was sometime earlier this year, because I cleaned out the books, the full libraries in there I can't get to at the moment. But I'll off screen I'll look at it, but I know you just recently talked about it not too long ago.
Okay.
All right, in my replay value is a game that is actually a board game aspect of it. But I wanted something that's going to give you that fun feel that you have it. That also has a couple expansions, but also that gives you that camaraderie, more like in the game immersion aspect, those memorable moments, that table talk aspect of it as well. Because you're trash talking each other, or you're trying to also get someone to do something out of play, and like when you're trying to get someone to make a deal with you in Bohnanza. And the game I picked is a personal favorite of mine. It's a personal favorite of yours, and this is Quacks, or Quacks of Quedlinburg from CMYK, or if you could find the old version of it, North Star Games. There's 2 expansions, the Herb Witches, and I can't remember what the other one is called. And it is designed by Wolfgang Warsch. It's a fun little push your luck aspect, but I wanted something that's going to give you that same feel of where you're going to just get that shenanigans based, where you're going to have that fun with the wheeling and dealing, or in this case, hey, come on, I'll pull one if you pull one. You're close to busting, you're fine. I'm going to pull one and you're going to pull one. I wanted something that gave that same kind of fun, a gamery aspect of it, because a lot of these games kind of be serious. Some of them are simple, like Jungo. Rival Restaurant gives you a lot of the take that aspect and the pushing each other around and the thing, whereas this one is just that straight fun you get from Bohnanza, where you're also gonna, and this could go in game immersion as well, but this was the only one I could think of.
I was thinking game immersion makes sense for
yeah,
this
but
one
also
too,
this has a couple expansions, and it's the same game every time you play it. There's not going to be much difference to it other than what you're pulling out of your bag. So it holds a good amount of players. I think 4 out of the base game.
4 out of the base.
Yeah. Yep. So it's going to hit that same kind of notes that Bohnanza hits in the replay value aspect of it, because there is expansions that don't really change a lot of the rules, that just enhances what you're doing. You have the minimum number of plays for the full experience. You play it once, you kind of know what's going to happen. It's just the variability that's coming out of your bag. Both are going to play relatively quickly. This one may be a little bit longer by player count, but not too long. So that's why I went with this one in replay value. But I also wanted to get something that will give you that same kind of laughter that you're going to get at the table. In fact, between that and Rival Restaurants, in 6 and Imp, these games are always going to give you that kind of laughter, that joking, that ability aspect where you're just going to be like trying to egg on the other players. Like, come on, give me that chili bean, or give me that green bean over there. I need that in my farm. I will take your trash to build my farm better, and I will give you the thing that you're looking for as well. And it's the same aspect with Quacks, where you're like, hey, I'll pull one if you pull one. No, I don't. No, I'm not going to happen. Come on, you know you want to. And that egging on. I wanted something that gives you that fun capability, but also has expansions. Because other than Rival Restaurants, none of these games have an expansion to them.
Right. The Bohnanza has a plethora of them, right?
Yeah,
and different variations and stuff.
Yeah, don't we have like a pirate one as well just recently?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a pirate one. You get a princess in it.
Yep.
So it's
Pirates and princesses. Yeah.
It's like, okay.
What are you, Carcassonne? What's going on here?
Exactly.
Right?
It's so weird sometimes, but yeah. No, I liked all of my games here. I know that Quacks is a bit of a stretch at replay value, but it's the only one that really has expansions other than Rival Restaurant.
Here's the thing, right? And here's why I'm not criticizing that pick, right? Because I don't agree that it should be in replay value. But, like, vibes, like, if there was a vibes category, this totally hits, like, the same vibe as Bohnanza. It's the same level of silliness for no comparison. Like, it's like, other than, it's like, if you like the silliness that Bohnanza gives, you probably will like how silly but those are totally not comparable games. But yeah, I get it, right? Yeah. Like, and it's like, I'm not going to criticize that.
Plus, I wanted to put Beat the Heat on there, and Beat the Heat, that is the best place to put it, is in game immersion.
Sure, yeah. I mean, because it's not mechanistically anything similar to.
Yeah.
It's not replay value, yeah. So, I mean, if you're going to put them in there, this is probably
This one has expansions. This fits.
Yeah, it's sure, yeah. The expansion default.
Exactly.
That's what it is. All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, if you like Bohnanza or have liked any of the games that we've recommended, any of the 9, then check out Bohnanza, or vice versa. Also,
what it says is that you need just to play Jungo.
Yeah, right. That's really what. Check out Jungo. It's pretty dope. If you have any recommendations, if you played Bohnanza before, comment down below and tell us what other games you'd recommend for players who are looking at alternatives to Bohnanza. So, with that being said, that's the end of our episode. We have an email, everydayboardgames at 2020@gmail.com. Sorry, everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com. And if you want to email us for ideas for future episodes, it's been a long day. We've doubled up on these episodes for a reason, right? If you want to email us for ideas for future episodes, whether it's just to say hello or even enter in possible future contests, we'll talk about that shortly. You can do so at that email address. Also, we have an Instagram, instagram.com/everydayboardgames. Check out the games that Daniel and I have physically been playing lately, and or shenanigans that I tend to post from time to time. And finally, we have a Discord channel that we just opened up, so we'd love people to come join us, chat with us outside of the episodes, And the Discord description or link is in the description below, wherever you're listening to this podcast.
And all video re-uploads and reviews are found under youtube.com/everydayboardgames. And if you like what we do, there are 3 things you can do to help us grow on the platform. Subscribe if you're not, like the video, and comment down below and tell us your thoughts on the subject.
We also stream our episodes live at twitch.tv/everydayboardgames. Make sure you follow us there so that way you can be notified when we join live and join in on the chat with us, like any of our viewers that might have joined us through today's episode.
And all audio versions can be found on most podcast platforms under Everyday Board Games Podcast. This includes Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and Apple.
So we want to thank you for listening. As always, I've been your host, Daniel.
And I've been your host, Daniel.
And we want to thank you for listening to Everyday Board Games.
And remember, every day is a good day for board gaming.